Right. So, we've already created the predicted outputs database in Workbench and imported the PyMySQL library in Jupyter. In this lecture, we will connect to this database from our Jupyter Notebook document. To do that, we'll have to execute a few very important lines of code. And just to make sure you're not getting lost among the different programming languages, I'd like to open a bracket and confirm the code we'll be using here will be in Python. Technically, we must begin by opening a connection to MySQL. We will create a variable that, by convention, will be called CONN. Then I'll write equals PyMySQL and invoke the connect method. By passing 3 specific arguments in this method, we will assign the information characterizing the type of connection to the variable CONN. The first argument is the database we are going to relate to. Of course, this is the database we created in our previous video, Predicted Outputs. Okay, we shouldn't forget to specify which connection to the MySQL server we are interested in. Allow me to remind you, when I started Workbench, I had a single connection. The username and password I used to access it were native user and 365pass, respectively. And these are exactly the 2 remaining arguments that must be designated here. After we've done that, we should press Shift and Enter to apply this command. And now we know for sure that we have set up a connection from Jupyter to a specific database in MySQL Workbench. Awesome! Therefore, while this connection, carried by the variable CONN, is open, it is possible to code in MySQL while being in a Python environment like Jupyter. This would be the same as if you had created a new SQL tab in Workbench and were typing various commands and statements in there. But you need an indicator which will show exactly where to write the code, don't you? The cursor will help you with this task. That's why we will create a variable called cursor, to which we will assign the connection object, CONN, and invoke the cursor method. Fantastic! From now on, we can proceed by typing and executing SQL queries from Jupyter. Before showing you this trick, though, we will create a table in our database. This is something we'll deal with in our next video. See you there!